Good afternoon, everybody. This is M750. This will either be my first video or a test video that nobody will see. Just going out for a short ride tonight. Looks like we got a thunderstorm going on over in the west side there. I don't know if we can see. A little bit of weather. Nothing too exciting. Hopefully we'll just miss some of the rain. It can get pretty crazy out here. It's monsoon season right now, so we get good thunderstorms, torrential downpours, and instant flooding, which is always exciting, of course, especially when you're on a bike. Flooding and bikes usually don't mix too well. Never actually driven on these back roads over here. I always head up on the main drag, but thought maybe we'd do something a little bit more different. Boy, that's a hell of a view over there, though. Oh, it looks like we got some lightning, too. So we'll keep doing videos, and whether or not we have any watchers, which we're not going to at first for quite a while, I would think. But I haven't seen a whole lot of desert vloggers, so it'll be kind of interesting, hopefully, for you guys. Interesting scenery, interesting weathers. Being here in Tucson, we get some awful drivers, so hopefully you won't see any of that in future vlogs, but considering how many times I've been cut off, I have a feeling we'll see plenty of that. Oh, there's a little dead something in the road there. It's always yummy. Every once in a while you'll see a rattlesnake on the side of the road, but it's not super common. We do get a lot of quail, though. And quail, I don't know what it is about quail, but they are not the brightest birds on the planet. They will literally wait until you're right up on them before they decide to walk across the road. But haven't hit one yet, thankfully. Don't intend to. They're cute little birds. Roadrunners, though, those guys are fun. They're just basically little dinosaurs, as my brother always used to say, and I have to agree with them. They do. They look like little velociraptors, which really is pretty cool. How could you not like a little vicious, meat-eating mini dinosaur that runs around in the desert? So some people that know me are going to know that my bike has been off the road for about 2 years due to some wonderful problems with the carburetors, and sitting and relining the gas tank and having to do fork seals, all sorts of fun stuff to get it back on the road. But thankfully, she is back on the road. Still not running absolutely perfect, but running pretty good overall. Idle seems a little low. I'm still going to have to fiddle with that a bit. And I have a feeling this light is not going to change for me, but maybe we'll get lucky. So we'll take a second to tell you about the bike. It is a Ducati Monster 750. It's 2000. I don't think the previous owner took really wonderful care of it, but you know, that happens. Oh, maybe this guy will trip the light. There we go. Now, I've got a Bell helmet, which is comfortable, and I love it. But unfortunately, I think it's a pretty windy helmet. So I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to hear me. And that's why I was saying this is either going to be a test video that nobody will ever see, or it'll be a good video. But I'm not going to find out till we get home, which It's going to be fairly shortly, like I said, because the weather's a little bit interesting. And I don't mind getting wet, but getting caught in a thunderstorm out here with 50-mile-an-hour winds usually isn't my idea of a good time. So this is Oro Valley. It's the north part of Tucson. I don't know if it's technically part of Tucson. I guess it's a suburb of Tucson. It's one of the more affluent areas, I guess you could say. Younger. But it's nice up here. It's a little quieter than down in the city. Don't have as many college kids to deal with. Which is ironic because I'm a college person myself, but not necessarily a kid, so. Yeah, we definitely got some lightning going on. Those are the Catalina Mountains there. Up behind those is Mount Lemmon, which you'll definitely see in a future video. Well, I'll tell you what, after 2 years of not being out riding, though, it's wonderful to be out. And I'm excited to do this vlogging thing, so hopefully I'll be interesting for everyone, see some things that people find interesting. We'll find out. One thing that is wonderful out here in the desert is the sunsets, though. They definitely get to get some good sunsets. I moved out here from Hawaii, which of course everyone knows for Hawaii 88 and a bunch of other excellent Hawaiian vloggers. I always consider myself happy to rep 808, but for right now, I am desert bound. Planning on moving back to Hawaii, hopefully in about a year. We'll see how well that works out. It'd be nice to get back with the crew I used to ride with there. I have a feeling this is going to be exceedingly windy on the microphone, but I don't know, we will find out. So where are we heading, you might ask? We're going to go up to the gate of Catalina State Park. Maybe we'll roll through. Some interesting things going on at Catalina. It's going to be a good storm. Some interesting things going on at Catalina State Park recently, but I figure you all can't watch a desert vlog without getting to see some saguaro cactus. Because everybody loves the saguaros, and it's kind of hard not to. They're pretty impressive. So this is Catalina State Park. One interesting thing they've had going on here lately, and the reason why I've decided to take you guys down here today, besides for the wonderful views, is apparently up on one of the trails there has been a mountain lion, a good-sized mountain lion, that has been following hikers. So that's pretty exciting. I don't think we're going to see him down here, and if we did, you would see some of the fastest riding that I've ever done. They're not exactly friendly creatures, especially this time of year when it's hot and food is scarce and everybody's hungry. Now, technically, I think I'm supposed to pay to go in here. Well, yeah, hence fee area. But usually, there's nobody here. And if we're just going in and scooting around, I think we can ignore it. Yeah, there's nobody here. Of course, the speed limit's 25, which is nearly impossible to do on a bike. Or at least it's nearly impossible for me to do on a bike. I'm sure some people can do 25 on a bike. Or people on scooters. case you're wondering, it's being August in the desert, if it's hot, yes. Yes, it is. It's not too bad right now, though. We're running at about maybe 100. It might not be quite 100. It might be down in the 90s. It feels pretty nice right now. And with the storms coming from both directions, we've got some nice cool breezes, which are good. So you can see where the water comes running across the road. When we get really heavy rainstorms, it doesn't sink into the ground, and you get flash flooding, and the washes fill up, and every year some idiot drives their car through it and has to get rescued, and it's always an interesting time out here during monsoon season. Granted, I've only been out here about a year, 2 years total spent out in the desert. I've yet to see any really good monsoons, just a couple decent storms. So I promised you saguaros, and currently you've seen 2, maybe. But there are more up here, I promise. Going up Mount Lemon, which we'll do in another ride, once my bike's running a little bit smoother, once I get my back brakes sorted out. That is, the beginning of that is nothing but saguaros. It's actually pretty impressive. We've got some other places we'll go later too. Saguaro National Park, which oddly enough doesn't have any saguaros. No, I'm actually kidding. It has tons of saguaros, hence the name. But that's another beautiful ride out on the other side of town. See, there we go. We got some saguaros there, a whole hill full of them. Lest you think I was lying, there they are. Little one-armed bandits of the desert, or multi-armed bandits of the desert. If I remember to do it, there's a link to a comic that I can put up. It's one of my favorite comics that has a saguaro with some hikers approaching. And classic saguaro, he's got his arms up. And then as the hikers pass, he puts his arms down and looks kind of dejected and says, "All I wanted was a hug." And because of that comic, every time I see saguaros, that's all I can think of, is how much those poor guys must want a hug. But they don't get any hugs because they're pricks. Get it? They have prickers on them. See, that's the type of snappy wit that you guys get to look forward to if you decide to follow my vlog, or vlog, or motorcycle vlog, video log, whatever you guys want to call it. Those low revs are still a little rough in this thing. I mean, it's a twin, you know. Still.